9, 10, and more. Through there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Almost there. Come on. 5. Push it. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 20. Good work. Awesome. Virtual high five. Eric high five. We did it. Go ahead and stretch yourself out. Rest your set line. Give my little 2 cents here. It's 7:25. Little conscious cool down. So you notice I have one of these on, and I almost never ever wear one. In Spanish, it's called a faja, or a waist cincher. And when I'm going to compete against others, any extra helps. Anything, little baby extra, anything helps. But again, I want to urge and encourage everybody to not just go for the waist trainers before you go without dieting and exercising first. This is the extra, that is first. That's one. But this reminds me of my grandma, actually, and my grandma passed away in March of this year, right before COVID hit everybody. And it was kind of a very sad moment, obviously, for the family, but there's 2 lessons that my grandma taught me, and I want to share them with you. One is, she would always say this in Spanish, para ser bella, necesita sufrir, which means that if you want to be beautiful, you have to suffer. And I thought it was funny when I put this on, because obviously it's very uncomfortable, but then it reminded me of my grandma, and I was like, you know what? It's that extra. You have to go through that pain threshold to become better, to, you know, do whatever it is to fit the part. So I'm going to do my whole best to fit the part. The second lesson that she taught me was this story, and it was in Spanish, but I could probably translate it in English. It might not sound the best, but basically she was saying that there is this old man and a young, and his grandson and a donkey, and they were both walking the donkey, and somebody looks at them and says, well, look at them, that's dumb. They have a donkey and nobody's riding them. Like, that's really dumb. So the old man gets on the donkey, since they heard that, and then all of a sudden somebody else comes along and says, look at that. The old man's riding the donkey and the young guy's walking. How dumb is that? The young guy should be carrying something. It goes along that line. I can't remember exactly. So then the old man comes off, the young man goes on, and then again somebody else says something about how the young man's on there, the poor donkey, and then they both come off, and again somebody else says something. Well, basically negative. Which basically the whole moral of the story was that there's always going to be somebody saying something about what you're doing, and it could always be perceived wrong. And her whole concept was just do what makes you happy. It doesn't matter what anybody else says or thinks, as long as it makes you happy. So I take those 2 lessons with me, and I think that in this prep for the next 50 days, I kind of dedicate this prep to my grandma, because I feel like, you know, we might not have been the closest, but she did teach me a lot. And I think there's so much wisdom that comes with the elder, because they've been through so much, and then they pass that on to us. So that's my 2 messages, girls, is that sometimes, especially with working out, we have to suffer to push that threshold of pain to get to that next level. And also do what you love, and who cares what anybody else thinks, as long as you're not hurting anybody. It's your life. So, good job, girls. We have pushed through upper body day with me. Go ahead and unlock your screens. We'll take a quick little pic. Right on time. Right on time. That's it. I have new people, and old people, and young people. Ready? Awesome. 3, 2, 1, cheese. Good job, girls. I'll see you tomorrow for glutes and hamstrings. Bye. Have a good night.